Nation, I'm Addison BabyChain Bickel, and welcome to the very first episode of my show, The Firepit, Halloween edition, of course. We asked our promo artists what their favorite Halloween costume was as a child.
I would say my favorite Halloween costume as a child was probably the last costume I ever wore.
What was my favorite Halloween costume?
I was 16 and I dressed up as a cowgirl with my best friend, and we actually did the dance Thriller dressed up as cowgirls.
Let's see, 7, 8 years old, I was a cowboy.
What was my favorite costume for trick or treat?
Well, man, there's so many of them.
All joking aside, my favorite Halloween costume ever. Halloween is obviously like one of my favorite times of the year. So one of my favorite Halloween costumes ever was when I dressed up as Freddy Krueger when I was a tiny kid, man. I was like 5 or 6 years old.
Probably a toss-up between two. The year I dressed up as the little Jolly Green Sprout.
I'd have to say the year that we won state in basketball, and I went as myself.
You know, from the old 80s giant.
I'd have to probably say that my very favorite was when I actually designed my own Sting NWO costume.
Vegetable commercials had the Jolly Green Giant and the Jolly Green Sprout.
You had to paint it yourself, you know what I mean? And I was no Picasso, you know what I mean? So it was like yellow and orange. It was horrible.
Some great answers, but Hammer, Sting, always an amazing choice. My favorite Halloween costume so far would have to be when I dressed up as Nikki Bella. Next, we asked our promo artists, do you enjoy going trick-or-treating or do you enjoy staying home and giving away candy?
Being that I have a 3-year-old.
We used to give out candy, but now that we have kids, we take the kids out trick-or-treating normally at the mall because it's too cold to go out house to house.
6-year-old.
Yeah, let's be honest. I don't like a lot of people coming to my house.
And a 9-year-old.
I don't do the give candy kind of deal. Wish we could here where I live now.
And of course I have my daughter who comes on weekends, which is, she's 8. So on Halloween it is a busy time for the Hammer family.
Because I do have a 5-year-old child, a group of family gets together and we go trick-or-treating.
Personal space. I guess you can say I'm kind of like the that weird guy, you know, in the horror movies. He lives at the top of the hill in the old building. Nobody ever sees him. You know, he's all hunched over with the humpback.
Did I go out trick-or-treating? Yeah. I used to when I was a kid out in the pouring rain, like a crazy maniac that I am.
I don't quite have the humpback yet, but I'm getting there.
We do not stay home and pass out candy because we're out with our kids, my daughter and my nephew and great-nephew, and we go trick-or-treating with the family.
Nah, man, I just I love trick-or-treating. I've always loved dressing up, scaring the hell out of people. Seeing the kids dress up, all their cool costumes, I gotta be honest, that's my favorite out of the two, trick-or-treat.
Hella Undead, I agree. Nothing wrong with taking the kids out for some candy. Next, we asked our promo artists what their favorite scary movie is.
What is my favorite Halloween scary movie?
I would have to say my absolute favorite scary movie is probably either The Nun or the movie Carrie.
Oh God. I got so many of them, it's like I can't even count.
Now this may sound a little redundant. I can't spell it, but I know what it means.
The Saw series.
Let's see, my absolute favorite has to be Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight was my favorite movie. Because I was a big fan of Tales from the Crypt. I'm still a fan of it to this day.
Before it started getting to be overly ridiculous.
Anything Freddy Krueger. I've seen every movie ever done, fan movies, remake. We won't talk about that. I love the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I love it. So absolutely take your pick. Any of the Nightmare on Elm Street series movies. There you go.
If I had to pick, I'd say anything by Stephen King. I absolutely love his movies, his book, just everything he does, all of his work. 99% of the time, if it's something by Stephen King, I'm going to be there.
Wow, there's a lot of scary movies growing up that I watched and I love. You know, I love the Halloween movies. You know, Michael Miner, you know, can't go wrong there. No, I'm just joking. Michael Myers. Gotta love those movies. But I'd have to say my very favorite growing up, it's always been the same. It's been all of the Friday the 13th, you know, Jason. I've really enjoyed those, especially the early ones. Like the first few was my favorite.
Those were some good answers and all, but Scotty saw absolutely not. The whole I want to play a game thing, no. No, I'm not Triple H. I'm all gamed out, man. No thanks. Next, we asked our promo artists if they had a special Halloween tradition.
So, do we have any special traditions that we do for Halloween?
Sit around, pass out candy to kids.
I wouldn't say we have any really special traditions we do. We let the kids pick out their costumes, and then about a week before Halloween, we get pumpkins, and we let them pick what they want their pumpkin to be carved as, and then I do the carving.
My parents live in a little community, so everybody pretty much knows everybody.
When you turn on the TV about 3-4 weeks before Halloween, every channel there's scary movies.
Taking the kids trick-or-treating. We'll buy some of those break and bake Halloween cookies, bake those, give the kids a couple pieces of candy when they get home, let them eat a few cookies, and get them ready for school the next day.
I don't really have a tradition for Halloween, but I wish I did, because I'd be scaring the living crap out of people.
You know, we have the decorations that go up, and of course we prepare the night before.
And it's become sort of a tradition to kind of kick back with BabyChain and just cuddle up and watch horror movies. I love it. Absolutely love it.
My favorite Halloween tradition is watching scary movies with my family. It's hoodie season, and if you didn't already know, I love hoodie season so much. So I guess you could say that's also part of my tradition. And finally, one last question. Everyone has a favorite, whether it be a movie, sport, food, or even a holiday. So we asked our artists, what is your favorite memory of Halloween?
As a child, my favorite memory from Halloween is definitely dancing Thriller with my best friend dressed up as cowgirls.
Man, getting all the candy. That is still my favorite, getting all the beautiful, yummy candy.
One year I worked for a department store. I won't say any names.
Going around, people knowing who I was, just kind of being a smart aleck.
They had a costume contest, and I worked in the garden center of said department store. And I was a young buck, and I was an Insane Clown Posse fan, like big time, over the moon Insane Clown Posse Mark.
Now my favorite memory from Halloween is just every year watching my kid's face light up.
Don't tell nobody.
But coming home with an entire pillowcase full of candy. I swear I ate candy clear up until the next Halloween from that.
Has to be the year I was 13, 1993, and I got the idea to dress up like a prostitute.
An entire huge bag of candy. Anytime you get kind of a haul like that, it's a good day.
My favorite memory. Wow. There's just so many of them.
I was a hooker for Halloween. And the friends that I was trick-or-treating with had to literally go get my mom to talk to the police because I was stopped by the cops because they thought I really was a 13-year-old prostitute.
And I dressed up like Violent J, for those of you who don't know who that is. You know, his clown, everything, the whole get up. And I remember it well because I was at work and I got to dress up like this crazy dude. You know what I mean? I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
You know, I'd have to say, you know, people don't know me. My grandmother was a big part of my life.
And I want you to know I'm still upset about that contest because they never even judged mine, and mine was better than most, of course, in my humble opinion.
Loved her dearly. And one of the things that we used to do is we would go out for Halloween as a kid and my brothers, and we would, you know, trick-or-treat just like anybody else would do. And whenever we were getting a little tired of walking and carrying our bags, we would always stop at my grandmother's house.
So I must have pulled that costume off pretty good.
My grandmother would be like the pit stop, but she would also make baggies, and she'd have like homemade, she'd make popcorn, and sometimes she'd have maybe cookies homemade, and then she would always have a can of pop. So we would go there and we'd sit down, have a break, and go through our candy, and my grandmother would give us our special baggie because we'd always get a special bag of stuff, and we would just chill there for a while until time to go again. So I'd have to say that'd probably be my favorite memories, is stopping at my grandma's and you know, having some snacks.
We all have favorite memories. My favorite memory of Halloween was when I went to the beach with my best friend and all of the stores were decorated with Halloween stuff. Good times. Ladies and gentlemen of the PPF Nation and anyone else who's watching out there, thank you for watching my very first episode of the Firepit. See you next time. Addison out.